As early as 2019, there was a popular saying on the internet: 2019 was the worst year in the past 10 years, but it will be the best year in the next 10 years. Unexpectedly, this sentence became a prophecy. 2022 is still a difficult year, and the word that many people hear most often in this year is probably uncertainty. Indeed, many things have happened in the auto industry this year: continuous chip shortages, the rise of BYD, and the crisis of Japanese cars. But pessimists are often right, and optimists are often successful. Crisis and opportunity are a pair of dialectical concepts. A strong company always has the ability to grow against the trend in a crisis, and reviewing major events in the industry may help everyone find certainty in uncertainty and discover new opportunities in new situations. In today's video, let's review the annual news of the auto industry in 2022. Okay, let's take a look. 1. Musk buys Twitter. On October 27, 2022, Musk's acquisition of Twitter for $44 billion once became the news that attracted the most attention from the global media. After entering Twitter, Musk carried out drastic reforms intensively, disbanding the board of directors, dismissing executives, mass layoffs, and cancelling home office. "I will work and sleep here until Twitter gets better." Immediately, Musk's sleeping in the office of Twitter sparked heated discussions again, and this time, Tesla's investors were also anxious. Many investors are worried that Musk's future work will focus on Twitter, so their investment confidence is low. Tesla's stock price plummeted, and Musk also fell from the throne of the world's richest man. Recently, it was reported that Musk will step down as CEO of Tesla, and his successor may be Zhu Xiaotong, president of Tesla Greater China. Regarding Musk, I think, no one really knows what is going on in his mind and what his strategy is. The only certainty about him is uncertainty. 2. The share of China's independent auto brands exceeded 50% for the first time, thanks to BYD. In September last year, China's independent auto brands ushered in a bright moment. According to statistics from the Passenger Association, the market share of self-owned brands in September reached 50.4%, an increase of 2.6% year-on-year. This is the first time that the market share of China's self-owned brands has exceeded 50%. Although the share of the wholesale volume of self-owned auto brands in April also exceeded 50%, given that Shanghai and Changchun, two major auto cities, were affected by the epidemic at that time, and the production and sales of many leading joint venture car companies dropped sharply, so, the share of the independent camp in September was the first time to break through 50% in the true sense. The increase in the share of self-owned brands is inseparable from a group of new forces, among which BYD has contributed the most. In March, BYD's monthly sales exceeded 100,000 for the first time, a record high. Also in March, BYD stopped production of fuel vehicles and fully turned to new energy. Since then, BYD's sales have continued to rise. In November, BYD sold a total of 230,427 new energy vehicles. So far, BYD's sales in 2022 have reached 1,628,300, completing the annual sales KPI ahead of schedule. On January 2, BYD announced its total sales in 2022, 1.86 million vehicles. 3. Herbert Diess stepped down as Volkswagen CEO. On June 8 last year, there was a power earthquake at the headquarters of Volkswagen Wolfsburg. Diess will no longer serve as CEO of the Volkswagen brand and will be replaced by Porsche CEO Oliver Blume. There are two important reasons for Diess' passive resignation. First of all, Diess failed to take on the important task of leading the Volkswagen to digital transformation. According to Bloomberg News, the serious delay in software development has made it difficult for several new models of Porsche, Bentley, and Audi to be produced. Previously, Volkswagen's ID series electric models were also delayed due to software bugs. Software failures such as black screens have been criticized by many users. However, the slow process of mass digitalization is the result of the superposition of various factors such as the European social environment and the mass group system. In the end, Dias alone bears the aftermath, which makes people feel a little wronged for him. Second, for many people in the VW, this Ben is an outsider. However, this outsider is still a radical reformist, a fan of the flat management concept, and the interests of many people have been affected during the reform process. Moreover, Volkswagen is a family-owned company, and the board of supervisors holds great power. All this is doomed to a game between Dias and Volkswagen, a Big Mac company. The final result, everyone knows, Dias stepped down. Finally, I have to say that Dias reforms are indeed radical, but the rigid mechanism of the VW and the internal friction caused by factional struggles will also become stumbling blocks for the continued development of the Volkswagen. 4. Chinese car companies take over Russia. After the Russian-Ukraine conflict broke out, foreign car companies have withdrawn from Russia, a place of right and wrong. At the same time, due to the low level of Russia's local supply chain, the production of Russian OEMs will become a big problem once foreign countries blockade. For a time, the Russian auto market fell into a vacuum. Chinese cars have an opportunity to take advantage of. According to statistics, the market share of Chinese auto brands in Russia rose from 9.6% in January 2022 to 31.3% in November. Chinese car companies' occupation of Russia is not only reflected in market share, but also in the relationship between Chinese auto brands and Russian auto brands. As early as May 2022, news broke that China's JAC would help Russia revive the Soviet-era Moskvich brand. Although until now, both parties have been silent on the matter, a new model from Moskvich Auto speaks volumes. In appearance, the latest Moskvich car is quite different from the classic models of the Soviet era, but almost identical to JAC JS4, which makes the relationship between Muscovite and JAC self-evident. Having said so much, instead of saying that Chinese car companies have occupied Russia, it is better to say that Chinese and Russian car companies are working together for a win-win situation. After all, for China, Chinese auto brands have gained more dividends in Russia. For Russia, the entry of Chinese auto companies has alleviated the vacuum state of the Russian auto market to a certain extent and helped the Russian auto market gradually recover. 5. The export volume of China's independent auto brands has skyrocketed. The first self-owned brands to go overseas can be traced back to 1957 when Jordan ordered 3 Jifeng CA10s. However, for a long time after that, self-owned brands often appeared in the eyes of overseas users as cheap cars, and failed to break through the ceiling of 1 million vehicles for a long time. However, in 2021, self-owned brands will usher in a turning point in going overseas. The export of complete vehicles was about 2.015 million vehicles, doubling the growth. 2 million vehicles is just the starting point, not the end point. In 2022, the self-owned brand will start again and achieve a new breakthrough in going overseas. According to statistics from the China Association of Automobile Manufacturers, from January to November 2022, China's auto exports totaled 2.785 million vehicles, a year-on-year increase of 55.3%. This number has surpassed Germany, second only to Japan, ranking second in the world. According to this momentum, China's total auto exports are expected to exceed 3 million in 2022. Okay, the above is the annual news of the automotive industry in 2022. Do you think there are any other news that are worth thinking about but I haven't mentioned in this video? Welcome to tell me in the comment area. Well, thanks for listening. See you next time.